Hey everybody, welcome to the Avid Amateur. I'm Greg, and we're not making this a cooking show, but because of the weather and COVID and all the other stuff going on, travel for taking pictures is kind of out of the question. But everybody likes to eat, so I thought maybe as we do something new and different, I'd let you in on it, see what we're doing. And today we're going to be looking at induction cooking. Induction cooking. What is induction cooking? Well, this is an induction hot plate, which never gets hot. That's the irony of the whole thing. It heats the pan and not itself. And how it works, I don't know how it works. It's not important how it works. It just does work. And today we're going to cook with it to see how well it works. Okay, this one is called the Duxtop Induction Cooking. And it says on the side of the box here, it says here this has a timer, LCD display, one 20 power level, 200 to 1800 watts, 1 to 20 temperature settings, temperature range 100 to 460 degrees Fahrenheit, power 120 volt, 60 hertz, 1800 watts, requires a 120 outlet with a 20 amp circuit breaker. All modern kitchens, anything in the last 50 years, the kitchens are always 20 amp circuit breakers. Electronic overheating protection, and the size is 11¼ inches wide by 14 inches deep by 2½ inches thick. Alright, so let's open this puppy up, see what it's all about. They seal the box with their own seal, that way you know you're getting a new one, not one that's been out and returned. So we'll open that up. It comes with a 2-year warranty, and what I always do, I save the box, I date it as to when I purchased it, and if something goes wrong, I'll know that I got a 2-year warranty, and also I know when to throw the box away. So let's see what this puppy looks like. If I can get it open, yeah, here we go. And there's what it looks like. Here's a little startup guide. Here's customer service contact information, and here is an instruction book, user manual they call it. All right. Oh yeah. And here it says requires compatible magnetic cookware. Now, how do you know whether your cookware is magnetic? I'll show you. Here's an old refrigerator magnet. Sticks. Now, the lid it won't stick, but the bottom it will. And I went through and I checked all my cookware, and just about everything we have that's steel, stainless steel, has iron in the bottom for induction cooking. I'm going to read the instructions over and peel this label off. It says tips to turn the cooktop on. It has an on and off button. That's great to know. And then press the menu button. Remove this sticker before use. So there's the on and off button. And here's the menu button. And this is temperature button, plus or minus. This is boil, you just push that and it boils. This is a keep warm, and then this is the timer. This is a lock to lock it out so kids can't play with it. I'm going to read the instructions, and today I'm going to test out what advantage there is and how well it cooks. You can go online and everybody that's made videos on this type of cooking, they take 2 cups of water and they put it on this, they put it on a gas stove, they put it on an electric stove, and they see which boils the fastest. I can tell you right now, you don't even have to go there, this will boil 2 cups of water in about 2 minutes. A gas range will boil 2 cups of water in just a little over 2 minutes. An electric range will boil 2 cups of water in about 4 minutes. I'm not going to do that today. That's not what I want to do. What I'm going to do today is poach chicken. To poach chicken, it has to maintain about 165, 170 degree constant temperature. You don't want your chicken to boil. If you boil it, you just lost all the advantage of poaching. The idea of poaching chicken is so that it's very moist, very tender, very succulent. You boil chicken, well, you know how it goes. It gets dried out. And all that's left for then is to chop it up and make salads out of it. Chinese cooking uses a lot of boiled chicken. So I'm going to have 2 chicken breasts and I'm going to boil them, and I want to make sure this thing will maintain 165 to 170 degree temperature for about 20-25 minutes. That's how long it'll take it to cook, depending on how thick your chicken breasts are. What I'm going to do, I'm going to read the instructions, see if there's anything here that you need to know about, and then I'm going to set it up and we're going to boil chicken, and eventually we're going to make chicken Alfredo. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I've been reading over the instructions, and here's some significant points. Nothing heavier than 25 pounds on a cook surface. You got to keep the air inlet in the back where it can circulate. Don't have your credit card or anything electronic close to it because of the magnetic field. And also they warn against pacemakers. So if you've got a pacemaker, you probably shouldn't have one of these things. Again, 3 times they say don't overload the circuit. Make sure you're plugged into a 20 amp circuit, and don't have anything else plugged into the circuit while you're cooking. They also warn the appliance generates heat. So the pan here is going to get hot. Now the surface around the pan will not get hot. So it says use a 5-inch pan minimum. So if I had a 5-inch pan, my pan's bigger than 5 inches, but if I had a 5-inch pan on here, where the pan is, it gets hot. Anything outside of where the pan is, it won't get hot. The idea is that the cooktop never really gets hot. The only heat that is on the cooktop is the heat that's generated from the pan. The cooktop doesn't heat itself, it heats the pan. So I guess is a better way to put that. But it will leave some residual heat. You put your ingredients into the pan before you turn the unit on. Now depending on your pan, it may heat differently than another pan. So for instance, maybe my pan will heat 165 degrees exactly. A different pan at a 165 degree setting may only heat to 150, or it may heat to 180. So you need to test your pans to see what they actually heat to. They warn you about that. That's why they're saying temperature mode has a very limitations. The power mode supposedly will cook at the proper temperature for whatever you're cooking. Like if you're cooking beef and you want it 150 degrees, it'll keep it at 150 degrees. We're making poached chicken. And when you're poaching chicken, you're going to be sure to trim all the fat off of the chicken. I'll do that. I'm going to poach it in chicken broth. So I won't be salting it because the chicken broth is already salted. Then I'll be making a fettuccine. I've got 4 ounces of fettuccine here with the chicken and the mushrooms. 4 ounces is plenty for 2 servings. I've got butter, mushrooms, which is not classically in fettuccine, but I like mushrooms, so I'm putting my own mushrooms in it. Fresh garlic, and I have here some Parmesan cheese, olive oil. I'm going to get started here, and I'm going to trim my chicken and get my garlic ready. I have a thermometer here. We'll be checking it from time to time to make sure that we're getting to 165 degrees. That's the temperature for poached chicken, 165 degrees. Chicken's safe to eat at 165 degrees. You want to maintain that 165 degree temperature for about 20 minutes. I'm going to get ready here, and I'll get back with you in just a second. The reason you trim the fat off is because when you poach chicken, the fat won't render and it'll be yucky to eat. Okay, I've got a thermometer here. As you can see, I got it set for chicken at 165 degrees. And my liquid is at 174 degrees. And I think when I put my chicken in there, that'll cool it down a little bit. Well, my liquid's already 163 degrees, so that's just really good. We'll keep washing it, and I'm going to stick the probe in the thickest chicken breast. And now I'm going to saute my mushrooms and the garlic. I'm going to do that on the cooktop, electric range. Now I'm going to cook the mushrooms down first, get rid of most of the liquid. Then I'm going to add my garlic, because I don't want the garlic to burn. The garlic is very sensitive. Barely want to toast it, where it barely turns brown. My chicken is up to 85 degrees, 86. It's starting to come up. And my liquid is just fine. It's not boiling. Let's check the temperature of the liquid. It's getting just a little hot. 169 degrees. I want to watch that closely. I'm going to cook the fettuccine in the chicken water here. Gives a little more flavor. Okay, I got my garlic in the pan. I add just a little more olive oil. I put a little salt in here. And we're going to let that garlic just almost start to brown just a little bit. Then I'm going to turn the fire off and hold it until we get ready to make our Alfredo sauce. Now, the cooktop set at 160 degrees was heating the water too hot. So I've turned it down to 120. The water temperature got up to about 190 and I turned it down. The chicken's at 125 degrees. It's not boiling. And I've been switching back and forth, taking the temperature of the water versus the chicken. And at 120 degrees, it's maintaining a temperature of 169 degrees. This is the second time I've checked it, about 2 minutes apart. So that's just about perfect. I did turn the chicken over. The chicken now, in the center of the breast, the thickest one, is 125 degrees. I reduced the heat on my electric range here so I don't burn the garlic. You burn garlic, it gets bitter. Oh wow, does that smell good. Oh, really good. Okay, I want to cut my chicken up while that fettuccine's cooking. Look at that, just, oh, the juice almost runs out of it. Very good. We give a bite to the camera crew. My pasta is right now al dente. I'm bringing the temperature back up on my mushrooms and garlic. I'm getting ready to dump this in there. Now, I've boiled it down to where there's not hardly any liquid at all, and that's what I want. I don't want a lot of liquid because I'm going to use all that starchy goodness to make my sauce. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off and get over here. Now, I used the cheap pasta. That's all I had. If you want to know the difference between the cheap stuff and the good stuff, look at my video on Penne Vodka Sauce. I explain it all right there. So we're bringing this up to temperature. While it's coming up to temperature, do I like the Duxtop Induction Cooktop? Yes, I do. It's really easy to maintain the temperature once you figure out what your settings need to be. So it worked really, really well. It heats instantly, cools instantly, just like gas. It's wonderful. It's still running, it's cooling everything off, but it's turned off, it's all except for the fan. I got a little extra water here, just in case, and I've got a 1/4 cup of white wine there I'm going to throw into this. If it ever gets up to temperature. See, there we go. I should put it over here on this thing and bring it right up. So the first thing I'm going to do, melt my butter. Made the cardinal sin here. I forgot to put the Parmesan cheese in, but I made up for it. Turn the fire off and dip some of that creamy goodness over the top of my chicken.
Have you put the cheese in it?
Oh, I forgot the cheese. Without cheese, you don't have any Alfredo. It's not as pretty, but I bet you it tastes good. I'm going to serve it right in the pan, just like this. Well, what's the final thoughts on the induction cookware? I really like it. It works well. Everything went according to plan. I can recommend it. It's better than electric. It's as good as gas. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you found this interesting and enjoyed it. And share. Please share. That's how the word gets out. If you don't share, nothing happens. Be sure to look at the Penne Vodka Sauce to find out about pasta and the truth about vodka sauce. I'll see you next time, and hopefully COVID will be gone and the weather will be nice and I can get out and take some pictures again. Bye for now.